Hello everyone, my name is Kuba and today I have the pleasure to hosting a very special guest, Christian Friedel, who is the star of the Zone of the Interest and a renowned actor known for his work in numerous German movies and TV shows. It's a great honor to welcome you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are here mostly to talk about the Zone of Interest.
Yes.
So I have to ask because it's been quite some time since the film premiere. We are already in the new award season, and you have had numerous interviews and meetings about the movie. So, how's your perception of this film and its story evolved over this period and this whole process of marketing and discussion with various people?
I'm really happy about the fact that this movie is so relevant to so many people. And I'm really grateful about the reception of the movie, that so many viewers worldwide talk about the movie, watch the movie. And yes, it was a long journey and sometimes a really surprising journey, because when we started to work on this movie, we never expected this dimension of recognition. And yeah, I'm really grateful to be a part of this project, to this unique masterpiece. Let me say that, it's really strange to say that, but I really think Jonathan's vision is so unique and so important in these difficult political times. And I'm really happy about the fact that so many people recognize that.
And there were any places or people that surprised you the most?
There were a lot of people. We had a lot of. We had this Oscar season. We had a lot of talks with Academy members, and many members of the Academy were Jewish people or with a Jewish background, and to talk with them was really interesting. What they think about the movie, what they feel about the movie. And one man came to me and he said, "I'm so shocked because this was me." And I was surprised that he said that. And then I realized, okay, this is not a movie about Nazi perpetrators or Germans. It's a movie about all of us and what's inside of all of us. And that was really fascinating and yeah, emotional in a way.
Yes, I think this is a very special connection that this movie creates between us as a people. And I think what is very interesting is that this is a German movie created in your own language, but directed by someone who is English speaker.
Yeah.
And now we are here in Poland, where
Yes.
we are also the third side, we can say, in discussion. And this in our cinema heritage is very important to create stories about war, about Holocaust, and we are proud of most of those films, and but we are still also learning how to talk, I think, about it. And I wonder, is there any Polish film that you believe contribute in some interesting way to this larger discussion? Maybe when you were working on this film, during the making of it, did you touch upon any Polish cinema context?
That's a good question. I saw a lot of Polanski movies, and I remember Ida and Cold War were really strong, intense, and great movies. And Lukasz, the cinematographer from the Zone of Interest, I think he worked on both movies, yeah. And the producer Eva, she produced maybe both of them, but it's that was really inspiring for me. And yeah, and what you said is really important. It's we are German actors with a English director, but we had a big and great Polish team, and we filmed the whole movie in Poland, and that was really interesting and really intense, and a good and the right choice to make the in that way.
Yes, I believe it's very important collaboration because, like we said, many different people from many different backgrounds. There is, of course, also a difference how we learn about history, especially that period. And to create something unique and universal, like you said, it's very special, and I wonder what about the people who don't know much about war in this region.
Yes.
They don't know history from the side, like I or you, and how they engage in this discussion about this movie.
That's a good question, because that was a question I heard sometimes, that people said, what is with a younger generation who not know so much about the dimension of this time period, or the people, or the crimes. And I think you feel, if you watch the movie, because there are two movies in one, a movie you can see, a movie you can hear, and I think you feel there is a contrast and there is something going on. And if you don't know what's going on, or if you don't know what are these people responsible for, you feel there's something wrong. And I think this is a really interesting way to create art that we can understand, even if we don't know the whole thing, or the historical details. And I think this is, this movie can work for people, and maybe after watching the movie, you want to Google some facts or something. Or you want to know more about these people, or more about facts. If I think this movie can inspire these people. I hope.
Yes, it definitely can inspire, but I'm sometimes also wonder about maybe some wrong question that someone can ask.
Yeah.
Because I was reading many of your interviews before, and in one I came across a question that struck me as rather out of place, strange. It was a question about what Johnathana Glazera said about Palestine at Oscars.
Yeah.
And this question was about what your movie character would said about it. And it was a little bit strange, because it's not necessarily what I think, and what Rudolf Hoss would thought about Palestine. It's a little bit strange. So I wonder, what do you think about it? And is it possible that we sometimes, well, in not necessarily good way, talk about some men, because maybe this is not a problem after all, but for me it's quite strange to only about movie and talk about something like that, because it's a little bizarre.
It's always bizarre to make a connection or a bridge to the recent days, and then it's a thin line. Sometimes I think Jonathan doesn't want to talk about these things in public, because he said, my art is speaking for me, and my art inspires the people to think, is there a bridge to recent days or to recent conflicts in the world or not. If you feel that, you can create your own thing about that. And I think what I learn in these days, it's how difficult it is to communicate. how difficult it is to discuss things in different ways. We have to learn that we listen to each other, but that we don't say this is right or this is wrong. If you have to accept that there is someone who thinks in a different way, and this is a dialogue. This is what we have to relearn again. In our times, I have the feeling people uses some sentences of Jonathan's interviews or his Oscar speech, and to make a punchline and to say he's against that or he's thinking about that. But I think this is not right. Maybe, I don't know if he's right or if he's wrong. It's his opinion. But for me, in our times, I wish that people can learn to discuss things with an open mind, with an open heart, and to accept that my freedom ends when the freedom of other people starts. And I think this is a way of communication. And I'm really happy that we have art in these times to communicate. And this movie is asking some very interesting and important questions. And this movie is a bridge to our times. And I think it's a new universal movie about what's inside of us, what we are capable for, what we are responsible for. Our decisions in these times are so important, and we have to be aware what could be inside of us. Even if we are black or white or Christians, Jewish people, or we are all humans, and yet to live together as a community. This is so important to work on that, and it's sometimes important to say something, and then to think about, and then we have the freedom to say, no, I'm against that, or that's not right, because this is so. We have to, that's a long answer to but it's a good question. It's a good question.
It's a long answer to the complicated question.
It's a complicated question, and it's in these complicated times. But I think it's it was a strange moment for me at the Oscars, because I listened to him and I had the feeling it's a speech for freedom, for love, and for not to use anything to say this is a reason to make war or violence. It's a speech against violence. So, but then the dimension, and after that the discussions, that was sometimes a little bit I don't know,
not right.
Not right. So
and this everything you talk about, this discussion about understanding each other, is this something you were always so sure what you think about it? Because I feel that you talk so much about this topic and you know what you think about it.
Yeah.
But I wonder, is it always there this certainty, or maybe it grows with you during the production, during working on the movie? Because I wonder how this movie changed you also as a person.
Yeah. Great question. I learned a lot as a human being, not only as an actor, as a human being too, because I didn't know the fact that this family lives so close to the camp. And I sometimes ignore things inside of me, or meanings or questions, and every movie for me is a chance to learn, not only as an actor in different challenges, but I also learn as a human being. And when I talk to people and I discuss the movie, or I speak about the movie, and I listen to other people, what they think, then I learn a lot, and then what you said, it grows, and then for me it's not so important what I really think. I think for me, I'm an actor. I learn the lines, and for me it's so important that the people believe my character or what I'm doing, my work. This is more important. And if I'm I'm not a politician, so or I'm not a healer, or I don't know. I want to make art that people hopefully is relevant enough that people think about they self. So I hope that this is the reason I create art. But yes, I'm learning a lot, and I'm not, when I'm starting with the project, I'm not sure if I have this dimension of things I'm thinking now about that.
I think it's a good moment to talk exactly about your work as an actor, not only about a movie and its topic, because you are not only actor, you are also a musician, composer, theater director, and I always wonder how all of this influence you as an actor on screen. How it doing this all sort of things changes you?
I think rhythm is very important, and language is for me like music. So to work with language, to work with situations, to find the right rhythm, to find the right tone, that's for me like music in a way. So, and Johnathana Glazera is also a musician in my opinion, because he started with a lot of music videos, and his work is really, he creates a very special rhythm, and I really like that. We had immediately a connection, like we play in the same band or something. So maybe it's a cliche, but it's really interesting for me, because very often people ask me, if you have to choose to be an actor or to be a musician, and I said, I don't have to choose. I think when I work as an actor, this inspires my work as a musician too, or my music inspires me to work as an actor. And if I can work as an actor and a musician in the same time, then I'm a happy person.
So maybe musical,
yeah, or better, or I don't know. I'm working now on a project about a famous musician in the 80s, and in this project I can act and sing at the same time. It's not in a musical way. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of
more like a biopic of musician.
Yeah.
And do you see yourself in the future maybe as a film director? Because like you talk about the rhythm, I think that that it's maybe something that's interesting you in the future.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that fact, but I think that sounds a little bit strange. I'm not too young, but I'm a little bit afraid that I don't know so much about the technical things, and I think when I'm working as a director in a theater, then I'm working very visually, and if I want to work as a director in films, I want to create a vision or strong pictures, and I'm interested to find a way to work very in a technically way, or I don't know, but you can work as a team. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people who knows their work, but maybe to create a vision, you have to know more about some departments, I think. But maybe I have to start, and sometimes then you can learn.
When we are talking about actors, do you think they should have known much about their craft? or maybe it's better that they're not used to certain tricks or methods, because sometimes actor is like a blank page for the director.
Yeah.
In some cases. So do you think that is better to be open for new techniques, or maybe it's still important to have a bigger experience in acting school or something like that?
I think acting school could be important for the process to getting yourself much better. That you learn to use your emotional archive. All these methods are, possibilities, but every person is unique, and every person, I know my joy is my joy. When I'm sad, this is my sadness. And then if I have to play a character who's sad, then I combine it with my sadness. So, and I have to find a way, and the methods are helpful sometimes to find a way to combine my archive with the character. And sometimes it's good to know that, but sometimes it's good not to know so much, that you are open, because for me it's great to work with directors with a strong vision. Then I'm a blank page, please use me. And I'm open for this experience and for this challenge. And in the zone of interest, very often we didn't know what we are doing or how we are doing that. But we had all the time in the world with this multi-camera system to find, with the help of improvisation or time, to find the right tone for the situation. And sometimes it's good not sitting at home and to say, okay, I have to play it in this way. Then you have it too concrete in your mind. It's better to be curious and to react in a spontaneous way. And very important is to listen. And this is what I said for our community and for communication. Because many people are in their own bubble, and they are with closed eyes, with closed ears. So, but if you are open, if you are listening and watching, then you can, and then you react on that. Then something can happen you couldn't imagine and you couldn't prepare it. So, and I think it's a way. It's more a practical way to find out what's my individual way.
So in a way we made a circle, because we talk about understanding, connection and openness,
Yes.
in talking about thematics
like
of the
circles.
movies and plus, and now this is also the case when you are making this art. And there were improvisation on the set of Zone of Interest, yes?
Yes.
Especially with children. How that work?
Sometimes good, sometimes a little bit strange, because the kids used modern words. And sometimes when I had this boat scene and they had a discussion about video games, and I had the feeling, no, that's not right. What's video game? And it was a little bit strange. But the improvisation are not included in the movie. There are maybe some of the sentences we said are improvised, but in the movie are the lines written down in the script. But the kids were not allowed to read the script, and not the other actors were allowed to read the script. Only Sandra and I read the script. And because this was the reason that no one can prepare or can have a rehearsal at home, because Jonathan wants to create a spontaneous way, a spontaneous reaction, because we were in the same boat at the same time, we had the same tension, and we had to keep the energy alive in this moment. And the kids were kids, and the strongest thing where when they don't think that they are shooting a movie. For example, we had the garden party, and they had soda, they had cookies, they were allowed to play in the water, next to the water, with some toys, and that was, I was there. Sandra and I, we had to play it in a loop. I had to come back and go away and come back, go away, and every time I came into the garden, I watched to these kids. I had the feeling, yes, they have a party, and it's not acting, and that was really fascinating. So, and that was great with the kids, and even Jonathan said to me, surprise the kids when we had the dinner, for example. Then I surprised with some sentences, and their reaction was spontaneous and not filtered in a way, and that was really great.
When you were making, you were making some sort of play, fun with them, from what I understand, and I suspect that it's not necessarily work always with adults. So is it more complicated to work in a way that includes a lot of improvisation with adults than with the children?
Yes, because Jonathan, he was like a documentary director. He was searching for the truth, and he was interested in real persons. He was afraid of actors in a way. And then I had a real doctor, a real officer, but all of these, there were no actors. And this is sometimes for me as an actor difficult, because to improvise with no actors can be good, but very often you hear it's not the right tone, because they had no knowledge how to act or what acting is, what's the meaning of acting. Because of the very sympathetic doctor, it was more important that you feel every hand on my body is doctor's hands and not he pretend to be a doctor. That was the most important thing. But what he's talking is not necessary. In the whole movie, it's not so important what we are talking, because it's the most important thing is what you see and what you hear, but not what we are talking about. Because sometimes they are not interesting persons. They are not interesting characters. But but it was for me strange and, to be honest, hard to work with non-actors, because sometimes I had the feeling I have to react to something who feels it's not right in a way. But it was, the old officer, he forgot every take his text. He said there were empty eyes looking at me, because it was at night, and he was not no actor. But it was, you feel in his behavior, in his body, you see this person, and yes, you feel he is an officer, and you feel, okay, yeah, he's a doctor, and that's good for the situation. Yeah, but it's what you said. Adults are not so good like kids.
I also wonder, staying a little bit on this topic, because now we know that we will see you in the next year in the American TV show.
Yes.
I won't bother you about the plot, because I expect you can say too much, but it's, I suspect, much bigger production and much different in many ways. And I wonder how you felt when you to go and work on the White Lotus. How would you compare it to the Zone of Interest, but also production in Germany? Maybe also TV show, because Babylon Berlin also great big show. Maybe there were some similarities.
I was surprised how many people working on this set. It was four until 500 people every day, and I had the feeling, okay, what's going on? But it was well organized, and it was a great energy on set. And sometimes you had the feeling, okay, it's a normal film set. But yes, sometimes you feel the difference. Maybe there's a little bit more money, and the director, Mike White, he's, for me, also a genius mind. He has written very smart and funny storylines, and very complex sometimes, very truthful. But it's not so different than other film sets. That's really interesting. Yes, the American actors are working sometimes in a different method, but it's there was a combination of very international. We had an international team of Thai people, English, American people. Some Germans were involved. I was the only German actor, but there were some Germans in the team, or Italian, because they built a family from the first seasons. They had people from Hawaii and from Italy, and they have to come back, and maybe the next season some of the Thai people will come back. So they create a family thing, and this is the same like in Babylon Berlin. Now we are preparing the new season, the final season, and I will meet some familiar faces in the next week, and I think there are, for me, to play in the White Lotus, and my character, I'm not allowed to talk about that, but the character is the absolutely opposite, and lucky-wise, the opposite of my character in the Zone of Interest.
I hope so.
But the people were really, at the beginning, oh my God, there's the German one from the serious movie, and they were a little bit, and then they were surprised that I'm a sympathetic and funny person.
I can't wait for this season because I love the show from the very first season. So yes, I fight with myself to talk about you more about it.
You will like it, I'm sure.
Fingers crossed. And we unfortunately have to finish now. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, because of the movie. It was tremendous success. And
thank you so much.
We are waiting for The White Lotus and many more.
And maybe I come back and then we have a new great chat.
I hope so.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you very
so
much.
Dzięki.